All right, so I have Cat Zingano here. Cat, how's it going today? How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Happy to hear it. Just about 10 days out from your next fight, Leah McCourt, kind of a big one in the Bellator women's featherweight division. How are you feeling? How did training camp go for this one? And how excited are you to get back in there?
I'm good. Training camp was good. It was the right amount of hard and the right amount of technique, and it was pretty smooth. And I'm really happy with what I had accomplished and what I'm walking into the fight with.
And it's been about, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, it'll be about 9 months or maybe a little bit more between fights for you. Was that kind of what you wanted to take some time off to kind of have a break, or were you hoping to get rebooked quicker than this? I guess relative to how things played out, what were you gunning for?
Well, I was told after my last fight, I think even at the press conference, that I was going to fight before the holidays last year. And then they kind of came and went without a plan. And then I was told, the fights were done for the year and to wait for January. So January was going to be the plan. And then January didn't happen. I was told February. And then here we are, end of March. So, I can't care. It is what it is. And I would prefer for it to be shorter in between. But, what can you do? Sometimes the schedule doesn't work out, or matchmaking doesn't work out, and it is. I'm ready in here for March 31st.
Yeah, and we always talk about how it's difficult for promotions to find women's featherweight fighters. For you, as somebody that's on the inside, is it difficult? Like, is this pretty par for the course that it's hard to kind of to find opponents for you because there's only a handful of fighters in that division? Like, has this always been something that's maybe a little bit more difficult than when, say, you competed at 135?
Um, I think this one was different. I think because I was told the last couple of fights I was going to be fighting for the title, and then I believe Cyborg's contract went out, so she's not signed to Bellator anymore. Um, and technically is a free agent. And I want to say there was something going on there because she left and went to boxing, and she was doing all these other things that now they weren't sure what the next step was going to be in the division. I know she was negotiating with other country or companies. Um, and yeah, so I was kind of left wondering when it was going to start and who, and I thought it was going to be against her. And my coach, Justin Flores, and Leah McCourt's coach were both told at the same time that her and I were going to be fighting for a vacant belt. So originally we were being told we were going to fight for this vacant belt. And then we were told it was going to be an interim belt because they weren't sure. And now they're like, we're still not sure. So we're just going to make it a regular fight and make it a number one contender fight. So, at a certain point, I had to kind of let go of expectations and not care what it is, and just like, okay, this is the fight. This is what I have in my hands. I just wanted to know if I'm training for a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight, and right now it's a regular 3 rounds. So yeah, there's only so much you can control about it. So I was just told what I was told, and here I am.
And I guess how disappointing is that? Like, how much does fighting for a belt mean to you? Like, at this point in your career, do you feel like that would have been something that you really would have wanted? Was it a big disappointment to kind of not find yourself in that situation?
I mean, of course, like when I came over to Bellator, I was very excited about how deep the featherweight division was here. The UFC, the division there was very shallow, and a lot of the girls that were there were being borrowed from 135, and the champion I already beat. So coming over to featherweight at Bellator with all of these girls, there's so many girls and a lot of talent, and it goes very deep. It's kind of exciting to kind of start fresh over here like that. And yeah, I considered it a title tour. I started here and wanted to go up as necessary to work my way there. So to get there again, where it was almost happening again, like when I fought Megan Anderson, that fight was a number one contender fight to fight for the 145 title over there, and Cyborg got knocked out by Nunes, and then she left. So there's been a bunch of almosts, as far as that fight. And I just think at this point, I just gotta roll with whatever's going on, and stay hopeful and just take it as it comes.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned it earlier. Cris Cyborg kind of still in that negotiating period with Bellator. We don't really know what her next move is, but I guess as somebody that's been in these discussions about major bookings in this division, is there any sort of uh, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty right now about this division, right? Do you know more than we do in terms of like what the hope is? Like, do you feel? Is there any indication that the Cyborg fight would be next, or anything like that? Obviously, with her trying to figure out her thing.
I honestly I have no idea. From things that I've heard, it's just um I mean I'm not one to sit and talk bad, and I just think that there's some mutual feelings as if the promotion wants her or if she wants to be with the promotion, and what that looks like, so it's just an awkward situation to, on one hand, be getting called out and saying that I'm dodging someone, even though I've worked my way up to being, and meanwhile, that person's not even with the promotion, so it's just odd and awkward and kind of just seems like a little bit crazy, so um, anyway, I just, you know, rolling through the motions. I'm excited for this fight coming up. I can't care about anything else. I'm 10 days out from fighting this girl that I have respect for and that I think is going to be a great fight. And that's all that matters right now.
If Cris Cyborg does leave and that fight never happens, I mean, will that seem like a void for you? Is it something that you'll be bummed out if when the dust settles and you guys both enter retirement, if that never happens? Like, will that be something that will bug you?
It's just weird that it was an almost so many times, and yeah, I think it changes things a little bit that if it were to be something where I get to go and earn that belt, that it wasn't earned from me beating her is a little weird, but that's, you know, it doesn't matter, right now, I can't care about all that. It's not what's important. What's important is getting through what I have in my hands right now. And I'm sure all of that'll work out however it's supposed to.
Yeah, and talk to me about what you do have on your hands right now. Leah McCourt, you said she's somebody that you have a lot of respect for. I guess what are you expecting from her in the cage, and what should fans expect to see out of you in this fight?
I trained very well for this fight, and I watched her fights, I watched my fights. I watched my fights putting myself in her shoes. So I could come up with what I would do to fight me if I were her. And I just feel like it was a good camp and a fun camp. And she's got a little bit of size on me, but I have a lot of mean on her. So we'll see what happens. But it's a good matchup, and I think it's going to be cool.
Would you have preferred? I think it's kind of interesting. Like if you look at the two fights, there's a heavyweight fight above you guys as the main event. But would you have liked that slot, like the main event, to go 5 rounds, or do you prefer to kind of save that for a title sort of scenario?
I mean, I don't need to save anything. I have really good cardio. Uh, a main event fight is always the most fun. It's the most exciting. It's the most exhilarating. Like everyone's there to see it. And I'd love to have had that position, but co-main event is also awesome. So I'm excited for us girls to be doing it. I'm excited about some of the other girl cards or fights on the card. Pam Sorensen, who I fought last, I'm a fan of her. I like her, and she's fighting too. And then Ashley Smashley is here training where I'm training as well for her fight. So, we have some cool representations on the card that I'm excited to see, and I'm happy with co-main event as
Yeah.
well.
Well, Kat, good luck with the fight. I appreciate your time today, and good luck with the rest of your training camp.
All right, thank you.